This week, Down to Earth is in Barbados, known as much for its beaches as its love of the flying fish. We're here to investigate this icon of the Caribbean island, printed inside its passport, stamped on the $1 coin, key to its national dish. But today, it's under threat.
My name is Julian Hayward, but all my friends and my family know me as Shad. 30 years ago, when I first started catching flying fish with my father, it was plentiful. We didn't have to go too far. Now you gotta go 10 times as far. The fish is harder to trap. Within the last few years, this fish stock have been dwindling a lot, so it's more frustrating as a fisherman right now. I personally haven't eaten flying fish now. This is about 2 years as a fisherman, so you know how scarce they are. When I was growing up, that time you could buy 100 flying fish and that would feed your family for the whole week or even longer. But right now, flying fish are so scarce. Much more people can't afford to buy flying fish right now. If there's flying fish on the market, it's most likely restaurants or the hotels will buy them, but not the poor person. I would not start fishing for sure, but it depends on if the flying fish come back. But it ain't, right now, it ain't look like flying fish coming back right now.
To say that Barbados has no flying fish is to deny us of our soul. I am Kirk Humphrey. I am the Minister of Maritime Affairs and Blue Economy in Barbados. I mean, we're not the persons responsible for the decline in flying fish. Flying fish like cold waters. We know the waters in the region are getting warmer. We know that. We know we're not causing it. I mean, if you have a reduction in fish, it's going to be a threat to our food security. As a matter of fact, we're seeing a reduction in flying fish and other fish. We think it is directly linked to climate change. Of course, there are other things. I mean, we have to change the way we fish as well. We have to be able to go a little bit further, perhaps. I mean, fish migrate, we have to follow the fish. But that has been happening for generations. What has not been happening for generations has been the change in the climate, to which we have not yet developed the capacity to respond. We need to get this thing resolved for the industry, but also so it can sleep at night.
Here in Barbados, the flying fish became increasingly scarce with the arrival of sargassum, a 50% drop in catches since the brown algae first invaded the Caribbean back in 2011, releasing a rotten stench as it decomposed on the pristine beaches. Its origins remain a mystery, but researchers do believe two things. One, that like hurricanes, the sargassum can be expected every year. And two, the disaster is not entirely natural.
I'm Patrick McConney. The sea has always been my passion and fisher folk my interest. One of my main research activities is to learn how we can adapt and become more resilient. The problem with sargassum influxes is that they remain fairly unpredictable as to where and when they will impact and with what severity. Some of the things we're working on in projects such as FAO's CC4 Fish include adaptations to sargassum, such as fishermen modifying how they fish and the equipment they use. There are several early warning systems that relate to sargassum, including those available globally from satellites and remote sensing. We're also working on smartphone apps that will specifically allow communities of fisherfolk in several islands to alert each other. However, these are difficult times with conditions not previously experienced, and that is something we're working with them to deal with.
The island of Barbados is already starting to adapt by not only fishing further away, but also searching for an alternative to the flying fish. a species that is attracted to the sargassum that the locals are learning to love.
My name is Melissa Tate, and I am a fish vendor, but I consider myself a fish processor. Well, after the disappearance of flying fish, you had an influx of amberfish. There are some fishermen who use it to their advantage. They go close to the sargassum to catch the amberfish, which goes after smaller species of fish. Barbadians are the type that are fish lovers, so if there's another fish that surfaces due to climate change because of the increase of the sargassum, and that fish is economical, amberfish is economical, then Barbadians will consume it. But definitely they're not going to forget about flying fish because that's our national fish.